All right, welcome back to Random City Sports Ballers. We're gonna clear up some questions that a few folks have had in the comment sections or through email. A couple of people were like, "Hey, is this just a thought exercise with this Army of Pitchers thing, or is this coming from what's your history on this, so I know if this is just an analysis or if this is actually expert advice?" Well, I don't know about expert advice, but I'll tell you this. We figured it out. We cracked the code and we're making 75% of the playoffs, and we think we're going to do better this year. So what I'm showing you here is my own personal history. I am Thermopyles on Yahoo. Okay? Our history goes way back to 2005. We had a team or two, and then we didn't do anything, so our rating remained the same until 2009. And 2010, we finally joined again. And our rating went down. We got worse. And then we got worse. And we got worse. We just couldn't stop getting worse here. Well, this is me personally. Okay? And I was only playing here and there, and I'm telling you, I couldn't figure out how to do the head-to-head categories leagues in Yahoo. So I started working on it, figuring out, okay, what is working here. And in 2017, I cracked a little bit of the code. Not great, 708 rating, not spectacular, but I showed some improvement. I was like, okay, I figured something out. And it was the way I was drafting. All right, it was the way I was drafting. This first part of it was me going after power in my bats. All right, and I just focused solely on power. I didn't even really focus on RBIs. I just wanted home runs. So I was like, okay. And this worked a little bit. And then that didn't work. The next year in 2018, my rating dropped back down below 700. And, well, let's just say we improved it a little bit for 2019. All right, but we're at 706. And it was around this time that I first started playing in my first, I believe this 2020 may have been the first year that I played in a money league. All the rest of them were free. So I was doing this terrible in free leagues, okay? Just saying. In my free leagues, I was doing terribly, so I decided to join money leagues, and I wasn't really improving much beyond what I had done in 2017. And then I started noticing something about pitching, okay? So I started looking at, okay, if I can keep bringing so many pitchers that they can't be overcome in strikeouts, then I'm onto something, right? But I didn't focus on ERA at anything. I didn't care about ERA. I mean, I got guys with a 5 ERA on my team. I'll never have someone who had over 4. I'm not going to do that anymore. But back then, I used to. Okay, but I improved, right? So, on to the next year. This 2022 is where the Army of Pitcher strategy really started coming together. All right, we finished ranked higher than we'd ever been, up in the platinum range. I had some trophies. Actually, I think that was the first year I had significant trophies. And I had played in more of the Yahoo prize leagues. Then in 2023, we improved a little bit more, working through this strategy of how to do this, and we figured out that we can make a good percentage of our playoffs by going after power and having a lot of pitchers. But it was last year that it really showed. When we came out, we said we would make 75% of the playoffs, and we did. And we earned back all of our money and then some. See, we had only invested $300 back here around this 2023. We'd only invested $300. 2024, we turned it into $800. Well, actually $900, excuse me. We turned it into $900 on baseball. So we tripled our money, which meant we were on to something, okay? And that's how we know that this is going to work this year. Trust us, trust me. Here, let me show you this history of trophies. You can see here, 2007, I think this is a bronze, and then 2017, 2019, got my first place. 2020, a little bit of success with a first and a third. 2021, 2 more trophies. 2022, I told you we had more trophies. We got 5 that year. And then 2023, we got 3. And last year, boom, just all over the place. Okay, we earned 7 trophies last year out of 12 teams. So 7 out of 12 won trophies, and we had talked about that. We'd get 75% playoffs with a good chance of making money back. And we proved it's true for what we're doing. So this year we're tweaking a little bit, and I had a couple of teams where I actually accidentally sacrificed saves, so I'm gonna have to work hard on the waiver wire. But we're tweaking still. But you can see that in the drafts that I've posted. So go through, watch some of the drafts that I've posted. The teams really, there's a lot of great teams that happen in there. And I make every team look different. That's one thing that we learned back a few years ago, that you can't have the same looking team. Otherwise, when you get an injury to one, you've got an injury to all. And if it's an important player, you really suffer. Okay, so that's a big part of Herbie's Army of Pitchers. All right, so that's where we're at. Just in the last few years, we've had 8 first place, 6 second place, and 8 third place. And as you know, each one of those, you get at least your money back. So you know how the prize categories go for if you're joining one of these leagues. Anyways, that is my history. That is the history of the Army of Pitchers strategy. Now it's Herbie's Army of Pitchers. And just kind of tweak it to make it your own if you need to, but don't stray too far from the strategy. It works. It works, I promise you, 75% playoffs. If you're streaming pitchers every week, you're going to be 100% playoffs. 2 to 3 pitchers, pick the best matchup, go after fellas like, whoever's pitching against the White Sox. Whoever's pitching against the White Sox is going to be a fine pitcher. If there's a pitcher pitching in Seattle, hey, that might be a pretty good day to have that pitcher out there, okay? If he's, just focus on what you can improve throughout, and anyhow, stick to this strategy. Herbie's Army of Pitchers, home runs, RBIs, runs come along for the ride, and you have so many pitchers because you only have one bench bat. Other than that, you have a lot of freedom on what pitchers you want to get. Whatever your army looks like, that's what you're building. Just bring an army of pitchers to the table. Nobody can withstand it. All of these teams that are building, teams with 5 bench bats, 4 bench bats, they have so few pitchers, you're going to overwhelm them with innings, especially if it's a Yahoo Points League. So, anyhow, that's the gist of it. I want to thank you for tuning in, and we'll have another video coming out because I have another draft coming up on Sunday. It's a $100 league, and the other half of Random City Sports Ballers will be here. Keith will be here. And we'll do a draft $100 league. We don't know what our draft pick is yet, but you can bet we're sticking to the strategy. All right, fellas, thanks for tuning in.